here with Cheptegei just how fast.
I actually feel quite privileged. I have the best job, as you know, in the world as president of World Athletics. I was in Kampala in 2017 for the World Cross, where it wasn't the beginning of the Odyssey, but he was running incredibly well even in 2003 in Paris at the World Championships. But it was where he led the field for pretty much most of the race, and in front of an adoring home crowd, it all sort of unravelled over the last couple of kilometre and a half. But he had almost the perfect season last year, save it's a critical analysis, but his fourth place in Gdynia in the World Half would have probably disappointed him given what he'd done for the rest of the season. But it was almost the Grand Slam, wasn't it?
It was. I totally agree with you. I think that race in Kampala was a turning point for him as they get underway out there today. We see them head. You can see just how strong the wind is with the Monaco flags up above there. But once they turn, they will have some more shelter as they move alongside the big boats. They will have a slight drop down now at the first corner. We'll see some jostling for position in the beginning, and then I think we'll see them settling maybe into single file behind the king himself on the roads at the moment, Cheptegei.
You don't actually need to see any split times yet to know that that field has gone off with intent, hasn't it?
Yes, I think when you're aiming to get in the realms of sub 13-minute racing on the road, you have to start off from the beginning and you have to attack hard. That is that small drop, which of course they will come back up in reverse in the closing stages. That is Davis Kiplagat alongside Cheptegei at the moment. Further back behind, we can just catch a glimpse of the leading women. I can see Beatrice Cheptegei there. She is being paced by Luc Maas of the Netherlands, and he will try and shelter her from a little bit of the wind, but certainly accompany her and keep her.
We shouldn't gloss over the fact it is pretty blustery out there as well. But they're going to get Monaco's an interesting place because you get a lot of wind tunnelling effect between the high rise. So there'll be elements of this where the conditions are quite benign, and then suddenly they're going to hit pockets that they're going to have to really work hard in.
Absolutely, the wind can buffet, and it is coming off the sea here today. So if Morhad Hamdouni looks out across the water, he won't be doing that, but he will see his native Corsica, where he was in fact born, just across the water there, and that wind can sweep straight in. But because of the building work that they're doing along the Larvato beachfront here, those screens and shelters will in fact help them a lot, and you can see them tucking in closely to those boards. So the view might not be as nice, but I think they will appreciate those boards being there this morning. Beatrix Cheptegei went through in 2:54 for her first kilometre. There are the kilometre splits up on the screen now.
Cheptegei's got such a nice, easy style, hasn't he? And his arms are held well. He's got a nice, relaxed stride length. You can see he's working a little harder than normal.
Yeah, he's tucked into it. There is Meraf Bata on the women's side as well, returning from her 1 year out, and has come back racing well so far this year. She did record a 5K national record run on the roads. They sweep down now. Again, they've passed, I guess, the worst bit of exposure to the wind here, and they drop back in front of the Meridian Hotel and are approaching the turnabout point.
It's where we have all our World Athletics Council meetings.
And through 2 kilometres, they went through in 5:22. So again, pace just around about that 13:20 mark. So a little bit slower, and obviously deciding that conditions are chilly, and they're going to try and do their faster running in the second half of this course. Still a reasonable pack there as well, which will be working together and helping each other. Meraf Bata is out on her own. She is a little bit in no man's land. She's behind.
Some of those performances in Levan that night were really absolutely top draw, and just shows the quality and fortitude the athletes have shown to remain in such great form under such challenging circumstances.
Yes, I mean, I think they have to keep focused very much on the Olympics later this year, and very much hoping that will still go ahead, coming out and seizing the opportunity to race. I'm actually not sure that Cheptegei is in there. Luke Mars now appears to be running on his own, and I think Meraf Bata is actually leading the women's race here today. She went through 3 kilometers in 9:35, so she is also, I guess, struggling in the wind over those first 3 kilometers of this race, but is clear of Alice Fino in second place in the women's race. Cheptegei still can't quite shake that duo of Kiplagat and Bergen settled in behind him, and you can see Mourad Amdouni alongside the bike behind, trying to keep them inside and just to hang on to the coattails, if you like, of this leading trio.
I think just a couple of swift glances behind. I don't sense that they were glances of nervousness. I just think he was trying to figure out whether just how much daylight he'd got, and he's beginning to create that now.
I think so, and I think we'll get a chance to ask him afterwards, but I think he's realised that a world record in these conditions wasn't really on the cards, and what is important is that he wins the race here today and wins it convincingly. That is the split through 4 kilometres, 10:38 there, so yeah, he's still around about the same pace at 13 minutes. You can see down this hill here is a good opportunity to pick up pace, as Meraf Bata, leading the women's race, is just coming into that Monte Carlo tunnel, so famous from, as you said, the Monaco Grand Prix racing. It is also welcome when you're running to be able to get a little bit of shelter through there.
That's majestic running from Cheptegei at this point.
See just
beautiful stride length,
ease with which he covers the ground and almost bounces there. The other two working hard to try and stay with him, and probably have stayed closer than they might have anticipated, but he will sweep back alongside. It was a little bit of a glance at his watch, but alongside the big boats at this very
He'll be very, very satisfied with this performance. It's not a record. I don't think he probably realised very early on that was unlikely to happen, but he'll come out of here feeling very confident for the rest of the season.
And he's not too far off in the end with the speed that he's picked up over those closing stages. I'm looking to see if we can see him. We will see him pass under the red arch that they started on, and now down onto the carpet and towards the finishing straight here. Here he comes. And 13, 9, 10. Across the line there. Followed by Bergen in second place. Tambour and Amdouni did cross the line under the European record and in a French record time there. I think we will wait for confirmation of that. I am actually seeing Beatrice Cheptegei pass through 4 kilometres on our screen, so I apologise for the confusion. We haven't seen anything of her actually on the screens. We are watching Meraf Bata run down the hill now into the finishing, so she's inside the final kilometre, and I'm just trying to watch in front as well to see if there is Michiels crossing the line. Rafael Montoya.
L'arrivée des premières féminines et Abdelatif Iguider, le Marocain.
Iguida has just finished. I mean, that was, I think, a cold and disappointing run from him. Yes, she is coming down the finishing straight, so apologies for that. She now comes down the finishing straight alongside Luke Mars, and will cross the line in 14:40, so that is actually an outright world record. She takes down Sifan Hassan's world record set here in 2019. I really can only apologise for the confusion there. She wasn't appearing on the splits and wasn't picked up as the leading woman. So Meraf Bata is in second place, and we're waiting for her to finish now. But that was a stunning run alongside from Beatrice Cheptegei alongside her pacemaker Luke Mars. She was in fact in the race all the time, returning to her hunting ground, which is a record.
The Monaco magic.
Here is Merv Barter in second place, coming into the finishing straight, and she will finish with a strong time, not quite a personal best or a national record, but closely followed by Alice Fino. That will be a personal best for her. And behind her, that was Nina Lauwert. Finishing Alexa Lemitre. And Aude Clavier coming in to finish now. And so there came through, and we see that 14:44, so she's actually, it's been rounded up a little bit. She has equaled the world record of Sifan Hassan. 15:46 for Merv Barter behind Alice Finot. 15:52 personal best. Nina Lauwert of Belgium. 15:58 Alexa Lemitre.